Well, hi there, food friends. It's Kevin.
Marianne behind the camera.
And welcome to Cavalcade of Food. And Mayor, today we're going to talk about top oven ranges. So, a few weeks ago, we put up a video about the Frigidaire Flare that had just come into the collection.
Yes.
And I got comments and emails from people. By the way, if you want to email, here's the email address, cavalcadevintage@gmail.com. But the people were curious about other ranges that they spotted in the range room. So let's come on in, Mayor, and come back to the Flare. So the Flare is a top oven range, and we say that because the ovens, in this case there are two, a large and a small oven. This also came in a single oven model that you could have gotten. So they had a couple different configurations. The cooktop, the ovens are on top of the cooktop in the case of this Flare. Okay? So, but a couple people said, hey, what about the oven, the stove, the range, we should call it, that's behind the Flare? Well, they got a look at this Harvest Gold beauty. And, you know, I don't always, every time a new stove comes in, I don't always make a video about it. Sometimes I just don't have time. And that was the case with this Lady Gibson. I don't know if you can come in on this, Mayor. Lady Gibson range. Now, when my buddy John Lefevre was here couple weeks ago now on a visit, and John's been an appliance repair guy for a lot of years. He saw that and he said, this is all Kelvinator. So I asked him, I said, who made this? Because in the late 60s and early 70s, there was a lot of consolidation of the appliance industry, and a lot of the smaller appliance companies got bought up. And so I wasn't sure where Gibson fell in that. Anyways, John told me that this is a Kelvinator range. But it also, Mayor, like the Flare, is a top oven range, because look what's up here. Now, I know sometimes when microwaves came in, there were ranges that had a microwave on top. But this is actually what we would call a high-low, or, because down here you've got a conventional oven under the cooktop, just like you would. And then you have this additional second oven up on the other tier. Some people said that they aren't sure about this kind of arrangement, that they thought it might be sort of, if you had stuff cooking here, and then reaching over into the oven, it could be a little dicey. But if you were just going to bake something in the oven, you weren't cooking anything on the stovetop, it might be nice to have something at eye level like this where you didn't have to bend over. The other thing, too, is because this hangs over, you can't put a giant pot underneath here.
Right.
You've got to relegate your larger pots to the front. But look at all these dials. I mean, my gosh, this looks like a space console, doesn't it? Yeah. So you've got infinite heat switches here for all of your 4 burners down below. You've got a roast minder, which is basically a little alarm that you'd stick a probe into the roast, and you'd set this at, say, 170 degrees, and once it came up to temperature, buzzer would go off. You have a timed oven, and this has the bottom oven is self-cleaning, so you can set it to clean, or you can time it to start and at a certain time of day. Say you wanted it to start at, at noon, and you wanted it to, then down here, you'd say, well, and let's cook it for 3.5 hours, and then it would automatically stop. Okay? And then up here, you've got your controls for your upper level oven and your lower level oven. So you've got your, heat setting, and you've got your bake, broil, and so a lot of knobs. But that's what this is. This is a Lady Gibson double oven. It was still plugged in and operating when I got it. Matter of fact, Ralph and I and another guy, we had to take this out of a basement, of course, something this big and heavy, but we got it up. And actually, Mayor, this was gifted from the family, because our Uncle Bob's wife's sister gave this to me.
Yeah.
So we say thank you very much, and I'm looking forward to. I don't know if I'll be able to get it in the kitchen because it's awfully tall, but if not, I'm going to put it in the on deck spot so that I can use it. Then over here, this is the other upper oven range that is in the Cavalcade range room, and this is a 1960 Tappan Fabulous 400, and it is fabulous, isn't it, Mare?
Yes, it is.
Take a look at these handles. On the cabinet, here's the rotisserie. We have the meat probe, and what makes this range even more special is this was owned by the family who owned the Ben Franklin store, which is now the Cavalcade. So we love to have this because of that connection and that history. And this Tappan Fabulous 400, I'm not sure how many years they made it. I think they made this for maybe 5 years or so. 59 might have been the first year, but I'm not sure. Someone will tell me, like Hans. But this is a double oven. Check this out, Mare. You have two ovens here at eye level, smaller and larger. Funny on how I think the Frigidaire is the reverse. I think the larger oven is on the right and the smaller oven is on the left. So this is a reverse of that. It does have a rotisserie here, and here's the switch for it. Okay. And it has, of course, all the switches for the burners and for the two ovens. It has a clock and a timer. And by the way, we pull this out. And unlike the Frigidaire that has sort of 4 burners sort of in a diagonal pattern, Tappan put all 4 burners in a straight line and then had a cutting board and a prep board here in front of the burners. This one burner is an automatic burner. It's got a sensor there. The Frigidaire has one too. Not sure if it's working. I'll find out. But also in the basement was this one too. But it's actually, this one is actually in 2 pieces. So the cabinet below is a separate piece, and then you have the stove that sits on top of it. The cabinet was an accessory. You didn't have to get the cabinet. A lot of people just had this sort of built-in, had already a cabinet in their kitchen and just put this on top of it. So this is the Tappan Fabulous 400, and again, a real cool period piece. It doesn't get, for those who are into mid-century modern, this and the flare is about, is real great cool remnants of sort of the mid-century American kitchen. It's a big, heavy unit. So this is the Tappan 400. So I just hope that this little extra look at some of the top oven ranges answers some of the questions people have. I will try to do a better job in the future of introducing you to stoves as they come in. And like I said, it happens with some regularity, so I'll try to keep you posted on new additions. But I sure appreciate the comments. I appreciate the emails. I appreciate my sister for working the camera.
You're welcome.
Thank you, sis. And thank you all for watching. And if you like what we do here, please share, like, and subscribe. We do have a website, cavalcadeoffood.com. And check that out. And we'll see you again real soon, right back here at Cavalcade of Food. Bye, everybody.
Bye.